Hello everybody, this is Fanny. How are you? I hope you're having a great day, a great Wednesday. Had an amazing first day of the Unshakable Challenge with Tony Robbins yesterday. For me, it always resets my frequency, my mindset, and I want to talk to you about energy healing today through the art. And it is, of course, related things that changed my life, really. Because why did the art turn into politics? Because these are the things that uh, dictate your everyday life, right? Your mindset, how your emotion, no matter what you're going through, your situation, your circumstances, and everything, the way you feel. There is this quote that keeps coming in my head. It's you're not tired because you're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're not doing enough of what sparks your soul to life. And it's true. When I'm in these worries and fears, I freeze. I'm in this mindset of I can't even get out of bed. Like literally, even if I force myself to get out, I can't focus, I'm not productive, and all of a sudden, if you have a switch in frequency, you're super productive, you accomplish more in a day than you do in a week, so it's super important to understand how it works, because in any business, any era, any politics, it will completely change the country. They say that if you raise the frequency of a certain percentage of the population, I think it's 10% or something minimal, like literally, it doesn't have to be huge, but if you change the frequency of this amount of the population, then it shifts all the rest at the global level, because you're uplifting each other. And it's really what I've found with my team. When you find your soul tribe and you all help each other realign. For me, I think it's when I came here and I found, you guys, and I was like, oh my God, they exist. Like, the dreams that you have, and you have people around you that can be telling you, oh, but this is not a real job, or this is, and I always had kind of supportive people around me. But when you have really the people, the first was my mentor, Dean, who really insists, like, no, you have to persist. Your dreams are achievable. It's possible. It's not easy. But if you keep going, there is a bigger future for you. And sometimes they see the bigger future for you before you see it for yourself, You always see your friends amazing and perfect. And that was my thing. I saw them and I was like, oh my God, you're so amazing. Oh my God, I'm like love factory. And because you see in others, but then you're more difficult with yourself, because you're setting the bar and you're like, oh, I could do so much better. I could you want to, if you want to be a better person, it's good to question yourself, because it means you want to be better, you want to help the people you anyways. So I saw an ad this morning that was really interesting, and I'm gonna give you a gift. Actually, this is the point of this video, so let's start with that. I want to give you access, which is already on my website, but I want to remind you that it's there, to my Colors of Nature Oracle that I created in 2019. I was commissioned a 30 paintings collection for the Children's Hospital of New Orleans. And this was the craziest time of my life. Bunch of stuff happens. You will read in the book. I don't want to spend time on that this morning. But it was really a cathartic process for me, because it was for children in their recovery process, so it had to be, they didn't want me to put geometry in there. They wanted to be just landscapes. Okay, so this is the one I posted this morning. I wanted to take a look at all the details. I can't see what I'm doing. Let me see. Okay. So it had to be really landscape and animals, and the theme was music. And I realized that the music was in the frequency. And so everything that I painted during this collection was really a transmutation process. I was not in a good state of mind. There was a lot of arguments in my house. And so my painting time, and for me, it was difficult to be a mother. You have your child who's throwing tantrums and stuff, mostly when he was like 3, when they're in a little age, and you feel like so painting was my little bubble. It was like, I'm in my bubble, no one disturbs me when I'm painting, I'm recharging. And what I love about painting is that meditation, I fall asleep. I love to sleep, so if I start meditating, that's it, I fall asleep. But the painting was amazing for me to feel accomplished, because when I was there, I was either watching conferences or just thinking, listening to music, but I was painting. But then you're thinking, you're connecting to your higher self, and you're meditating this way, except that at the end, you have a result, you have a product. So this was my therapy, which at the end became my business, because I realized, oh my God, I have so many paintings now, I can sell them, now I can create a product. So I created and so I transmuted all of my emotions. There was beautiful emotions, of course. There was joy, there was excitement. I was excited to have to do this collection, and I was always focusing on imagining, visualizing the children walking in the hallways of the hospital and looking at the paintings. I was like, what are they gonna see? I want them to, most of the time people pass by the paintings and they look, and then they have to second look, like, oh, there's something about it, like, all the dots and the depth and the meaning, the symbolism. And just by looking at them, all this process I've been doing, or transmutation into something beautiful and colorful, you adjust right away with the frequency without having to do the whole process. That's why when Tony Robbins, he does his trainings, it's amazing, everything that he says and stuff like that. But most of the time, just his presence itself is already healing, because he's in that mindset, and just by connecting with his frequency, you automatically elevate. So sometimes afterwards, you can feel maybe sick or have a little depression. Why? Because I've explained that before. You have the two, right? And when your soul, your mind, what's intangible elevates, okay, it's light, elevates. The body, which is material, so matter, heavy, takes longer to adjust, right? So you're raising your frequency, you're all pumped up, and then 2 days later, you're like, oh, you feel heavy, you feel dragging. Why? Because your body needs to elevate too. So this is why it's important to do something physical, activity or painting or with your hands, right? So in my son's school, they have this hands, hearts, and hands. Heads, hearts, hands. Yes, the trilogy, right? So yeah, it's important to find that balance. And it's the same with the painting. And after that, I met all of my mentors, my tribes, my network. Everybody joined in now on the page, and we recoded the memories of the scenes with even higher frequencies that automatically, by entanglement, is connected to these paintings at the hospital. So even the frequency of the paintings when I delivered them has been rising even more since then, because the paintings, they're alive. And this is something that I've learned over the years, is that the paintings, they're alive, they're connected to your higher self. There is never a mistake. Even when you think it's a mistake, it's not a mistake. Let me explain you something incredible. So a few days ago, weeks ago, I met a guy that actually lives very nearby my house, and I showed him the paintings, and he ordered some paintings from me. He saw the Polaris, the star, and he was like, oh, I really like that painting with the Polaris. I'd like you to make me one, but different, with fire colors and the ocean, like ocean colors and fire and stuff. And right away, I had the painting. I visualized the painting in my mind. And I went pretty fast doing it, because I already had the design, so it's easy to just reproduce a design that I've created before. And I created the design, and I put the fire inside, right? So as soon as I put the fire, the volcano Mauna Loa erupts. I'm painting the fire the same day the Mauna Loa volcano erupts. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. It's either I felt it and that made me paint it, or I painted that and I created it. Either way, there is a connection between the nature and the nature of creation, of course. But then, re-looking at the painting, I was still thinking in this anti-gravity formula, right? So you're hitting the walls, right? Actually, I learned that in Haiti there is this meteorite that came, and it's like $1 billion material that they use for spaceships because it's highly resistant to heat, and so it's a fusion of metals and stuff like that. So anyways, I was like, the fire is against the walls, and I was wondering, should I have turned the star in order for the fire to be inside, like an oven, instead of having the fire touching the walls of it. And little details, I know it maybe sound a little weird, but I always, little details like that, but that changes everything, because then I created that. If I had put it like an oven and stuff like that, the digestive fire, the fire you have within, yes, it makes the creation and stuff, but it's also the warmth, the comfort, stuff like that. This is not how I made it. It was on the walls. And at that time, my cat was in heat like crazy. She couldn't even stand having the painting in the house. That was crazy. I went to deliver the painting, like, take this thing. And I had amazing review. He called me the other day and he said, that was crazy. He's like, there's something about the paintings. I don't know, since I have the paintings in my house, my life has completely changed. I keep winning the lottery. I lost 20 pounds. I do stuff I've never done before. I go out to the park and I feed the cats. And as he's saying that, I'm painting a cat. I'm painting around. I had painted the cat before, but I'm painting these like around that cat. And so see, this is a little surprise. I finished last night that beautiful emerald tablets painting. I will post a picture so you can see the details better. I'm not sure you can see really well on the video. And he's telling me that, he's like, I go to the park, I feed the cats, I don't know, I'm meditating, and I lost 20 pounds. And he says that, and I visualize the star with the fire that touches the wall of the star, like you're burning the excess weight from within, right? And I was like, this is why I didn't understand why I turned the star that way, but my higher self knows better exactly what I'm supposed to do, because when I paint, it's always for the person. Okay, even if I paint for fun, I'm always connected to who is this painting going to be destined for, even if I don't know yet. Who is it going for? What do they need? What is that for? It's a tool. Okay, so I was like, wow, that is crazy. So I have like the recipe to losing weight just by painting. And let me tell you, this is real. This is not BS, because I also used to smoke a lot of weed, right? To calm my anxiety, but also to help my digestive system, also to help with the pain, because after birthing my child, I got my hip dislocated and nothing, chiropractor, nothing helped. It's still there, it still hurts, and the only way to just fix it was to smoke a lot, and just the pain would disappear. I wouldn't even feel it. And then I started painting this Rosa Pico logo, cannabis champagne from France, right? That I'm partnering with this champagne brand. And I did this 13 paintings collection with the logo, and it's like a cannabis leaf in the shape of a diamond. I swear to you, since I started painting those collections, I stopped smoking naturally. Like literally, it's like, I don't feel the need for it. then sometimes I do it and I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Should I smoke more? Because, it releases that fear, that anxiety. It just makes you feel lighter. Sometimes you need that rest, of like your mind always trying to control everything, and you're smoking, you're relaxing, you're lifting the veil a little bit, and then I get huge like downloads of light codes. I paint even faster, it just enhance all my abilities, but I don't have the need. My body is not asking for it. I naturally stopped when I started to paint the collection, and now I know for a fact that the paintings, they have that energy that acts directly on our body, and that's crazy. Like in my house, I'm never sick, so touching table, my head, whatever, but because my house is like a powerhouse, and so yeah, so anyways, all this, and about the frequency, let me sure I'm not forgetting. Like I said, I'm not going to do too much because I know you guys are busy, and I just wanted to do 10 minutes, but this is so important because it can help you in your life every day. And even a print, if you want to, you're allowed to download, pictures from my Facebook, use for your background, desktop on your computers. If you want me to print them for you, of course, you're supporting my business, and I can print them in acrylic, metal, any quality for you. But the main point of it is that it heals the humanity, like we can just chill a little bit. And about the frequency, about the mood swings, because sometimes I feel really schizophrenic because I get into a mindset that is very low, very negative, and it's real. It's real. I mean what I say. I experiences, the grudges exist, the pain, disappointment exists, but at the same time, you don't want to get stuck into that because you freeze, and sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes being angry is not a low vibration. Sometimes it's the God that empowers you, that to let it out, or Mother Nature and the volcano energy that comes to let it out so we can solve an issue. Okay, it's just like, in a marriage, like you don't want to bother. That was me, I don't want to bother. Yeah, he works a lot. Oh my God, I have nothing to complain about. I keep it for myself. I keep it for myself. And all of a sudden it's like, what a divorce! Like, so you don't want that. You don't want, it's important to, sometimes stuff has to be let out, or in a company, or in whatever you can apply it to communicate, to let the stuff out, communicate, and find a solution together and harmonize it. So low, angry doesn't mean low, sad doesn't mean low. You have to embrace your emotions. But the low is when you're down, you can't get out of bed. Okay, you don't have the feeling, you don't have the energy. And then sometimes it's necessary, this process, because it's when your spirit is elevating and your body, like I said, your body is dragging. This is why you feel so low, because your spirit is already there and your body is like, oh, I gotta follow. But sometimes it's important to operate that shift so you can raise into the new vibration, the new frequency of healing. And this is what I do all the time on my Facebook. This is why I share the bad stuff and I share the good stuff as well, so we can do the process together. And the best is also to just share the good, because people automatically align, but not always just the good, because then people think, oh my God, it's always good, and I'm having all these dramas, and oh, maybe I'm not. That's why I share the bad stuff, because I want people to identify that, hey, we all have dramas, we all have anxiety, we all have anger. It's not just perfect and colorful every day, but we can get there. And listen, the most incredible, so this morning I saw an ad and they're talking about the frequency of healing, that they tested thousands of frequencies, right, to find the frequency of healing that would stimulate a reaction in your eyes. Excuse me. And I realized it's not one frequency, it's two frequencies. In order to reach that healing, you have to have a low frequency and a higher frequency that is 11 times higher, so they can adjust and merge, right, into that frequency of healing. And this is exactly what I do all the time without realizing it. But then you identify the pattern, like Tony Robbins says, and you're like, oh, okay, so I'm healing myself and I'm healing everybody else in the process. Okay. So yeah, that was very, very transformational. So when you have these states, communicate, don't let it know that you're in a healing process. Another thing I'm writing in my book right now, and I was talking to my mom yesterday, is that sometimes you have preconceptions, limiting beliefs or whatever, or you're rising in the frequency and you're sick, you get sick, and you're like, oh my God, or you're low or whatever. It's not, because it's actually meant to be like that, so your mind can shut up and let receive, right? If you're receiving a healing or whatever. For example, when I did a hypnosis regression one day, I don't like meditation. I don't like meditation. I'm like, it's boring. It's boring to me. And even it's beautiful, and I enjoy it sometimes, Of course, like last year, Sage Robin, she's probably going to do a meditation. This so beautiful, and everybody, but by myself, I don't do that every day. And I went to this quantum hypnosis regression, and that day I'm sick. I have the flu, and I'm like, all right, well, I already paid for it. I'm gonna go anyways. And I go there, and it's like a guided meditation. And I remember, and I'm like, and she's asking me question, and I'm just not into it. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But my body was so low that I didn't have the strength to fight and say, oh no, I'm not into that, whatever. I was just like pretty much trying to get out of there and just get it done, So I was just answering the questions, but then I realized it was meant to be like that, so my mind could shut up, not trying to control, and just go tack, 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 answer, question, answer, and let the intuition speak inside of me. So yeah, all this is amazing. So you see, even if the paintings, they look really simple, this is my Colors of Nature collection. My oracle is online, available on PDF on my website. You can download it, you can print it. I haven't found a publisher yet, but this will be published eventually for kids and families. Okay, so you have all the artworks. I made this beautiful book, this one, flowers. Thanks to your eyes, they will last forever. What is being an artist if you have nobody to look at the art? This one, Bugs in the Matrix. I love this painting. It looks really simple, really weird, but I did it on purpose to kind of camouflage everything. It's hard to see. You see the grass is like matrix codes. That then you have the crazy weeds there that come out of the matrix, where to change the structure. And the butterflies, they're hidden in the sky. Why? It's on purpose to train the eye to take a second look at things, to really look, really see, not just pass by something and be like, oh yeah, like many people do when my mentors, I send it to all of my friends. Most of them, they're like, oh, it's just marketing. Yeah, whatever, I'm not interested in business and stuff. And then I'm like, no, but look again, like there is so much. It's the healing, it's the tribe, the community, the mindset, the language, the art. It's so much, so training the kids since the very young age to be a part of it, the butterfly, the transformation. And what else here? Look at this one. What I have, this one. I love this one. the guardian angel. This one is, you see, look, this one looks so simple, and yet there's so much you can talk about. Like what the caption was, what's your motto? Never give up or let it go. Because they always tell you, let it go, let it go. And then you have never give up, never give up. So what's your motto? Never give up or let it go. You have to know what is worth never giving up on, what is has to let go. And at the same time, if she lets go of the balloons, it's gonna go pollute the atmosphere, you know. And so then can have discussions about the environment and what happens after it's to space. And you have the colors of the crown chakra and the lavender, the healing, cleansing energy of the lavender. And this is German Shepherd, my favorite dogs. So, and you see the sky, look at the colors. For me, it was amazing to paint that one. I think this is probably one of my favorite painting because the colors is just so awesome. That the bees, all of that. But I will let you discover on my website, www.pachamanart.org /colors of nature. I think I will post the link in the captions. This is my gift for you. Print it for your kids. Hopefully when it gets published, you get to order the deck and have the real cards in hand, like I have for my the Mother Earth Mandala Oracle. But until then, you can print it and use it as a book and get inspired by those little stories and, you know, short little passages you can read to your kids before going to bed. And yeah, so have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. Love you.